This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for August 5, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, vendor gets a 21-year sentence for robbery. A Kingston vendor who lured a woman and her partner to a church and, along with an accomplice, robbed them at a gunpoint of valuables, including $2,000 and a handkerchief, has been sentenced to 21 years, 3 months, and 16 days in prison. Kedain Buchanan, 23, was slapped with a 21-year sentence for using a firearm to commit a felony, an offense carrying a mandatory minimum of 20 years under the Firearms Act. He was also sentenced to 13 years, 3 months, and 16 days for robbery with aggravation. The sentences, which were handed down last week by Justice Yvonne Brown, are to run concurrently. Buchanan pleaded guilty to both offenses at the start of his trial in June. The convict had contacted the female complainant via social media under the pretense that he was interested in purchasing a cellular phone, and when she and her partner showed up, robbed them of 4 cell phones, US $50, Jamaican $2,000, and the handkerchief. The evidence led at the trial was that in November 2022, the female complainant, after being contacted by Buchanan, made arrangements for them to meet at the Central Police Station in Kingston to deliver the phone. On November 11, the female, accompanied by her spouse, went to the location. Buchanan, however, requested that they meet at a church that was in the same area, and the complainant complied. The couple, after arriving at the church, was seated in their vehicle when Buchanan entered the back and sat without invitation. The couple then told him that they did not conduct business in the car, and he replied, "Everything cool, man," and attempted to hand the female an envelope, which was not taken. Shortly after, another man entered the car. The complainant at that point insisted that they did not conduct business in the car, while Buchanan continued saying, "Everything cool." He then asked the complainant if they did not want to do business in the car because the second man had a gun, and proceeded to tell the man to draw the gun. The man complied, but after he did so, both he and Buchanan started screaming at the complainant to give them everything they had. Buchanan then grabbed the items and left the car. Following the robbery, the couple reported the matter, and while on their way to show the police the scene, spotted Buchanan standing on the roadway and pointed him out. The police accosted him and took him to the Central Police Station, where valuables belonging to the complainant were found in his possession. During the sentencing, Buchanan's lawyer, while acknowledging that the judge's hands were tied, asked Brown to consider his client's guilty plea, the time spent in custody, and that he was a young man with no prior conviction. The judge, in arriving at his sentence, started at 23 years, but after considering the mitigating and aggravating factors, his social inquiry report, and the time spent in custody, the sentence was reduced to 21 years, 3 months, and 16 days. Kingston man breaks ex-fiance's jawbone. A Kingston man will have to pay more than $200,000 in compensation after he broke his ex-fiance's jawbone in 4 places and caused the other extensive injuries. The revelation startled the senior parish judge Lorraine Cole Montague, which led the senior jurist to chide the man for his irresponsible actions. "What caused you to have behaved in the way that you did? Why did you do that to the woman?" the judge pressed, searching for answers. "My anger got the best of me," Gary Bihari, the accused, replied. The allegations shared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court are that on June 27, the complainant was at home when she heard suspicious sounds coming from outdoors. Moments later, Bihari kicked off a piece of plyboard and gained access to the complainant's house and immediately started beating her. Bihari, 36, allegedly said, "Ya take me for resist," before thumping and kicking the 41-year-old complainant in her stomach. It is alleged that the fracas between Bihari and the complainant, who were previously engaged, stemmed from Bihari calling her and not getting an answer. After the assault subsided, the complainant was hospitalized, and it was determined that she had fractures in parts of her face. Bihari was later arrested and charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm. "You're going to pay for this woman's injuries," the senior judge ordered. Behari made a first payment of $30,000 in court and is expected to return to court September 28 with the remaining funds. Convict chooses jail as he can't pay $6,000 fine. An unemployed man who police officers found in possession of less than a pound of ganja that he intended to sell to provide for himself opted to spend 30 days in custody as he had no funds to pay the fines. "Your Honor, me no have nobody to help me out. No friend, no family, no mother or father. Everybody are just pretender," Dennis Hall told Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague. Hall pleaded guilty to being in possession of ganja in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday. The weight of the substance, although not certified by the state's lab, is said to be 10 ounces. When the judge queried if he was offered a station bail, Hall admitted that he assaulted the man who was his surety. "I came home one day and see all my things on fire, and I asked him what is happening, but him start threatening me and I tell me how him a go kill me. Your Honor, me just box him," Hall explained. But the investigator pointed out that the person stood a surety for Hall in a wounding case before the court that is set for mention on September 1. The surety sought advice what to do about the assault, and he decided that he was not going to stand as surety anymore. When Mr. Hall was at the station, I asked him if he could get someone else to bail him, and he said no. Your Honor, I even went further and told him that I would offer him station bail because we don't have any space at the station for any more prisoners, and he said he does not have any identification, so because of that, he is still in custody, the investigating officer told the judge. "That is not a good thing, Mr. Hall. You can't be living and having no one to call for help," Judge Cole Montague said before imposing a fine of $6,000. However, Hall indicated that he would not be able to pay the fine as he is not working. He explained that he was earning a living by working on construction sites, but not Nagwan, so he ventured into selling weed. Cole Montague decided to impose a sentence of $6,000 or 30 days imprisonment. "I normally impose a sentence of 3 months, but in your situation, I'll take something off and give you 30 days, she said, to which Hall replied, "Thank you." Jamaica stands with Haiti but unable to deal with influx of migrants, says Prime Minister. As the fate of the 37 Haitians who recently landed on the island hangs in the balance, Prime Minister Andrew Holness acknowledged Thursday that the government is ill-equipped to deal with a massive influx of migrants. His admission comes more than a week after attorneys representing the Haitians sought asylum in Jamaica on their behalf. The group of 29 adults and 8 children arrived in Jamaica on July 10. The Prime Minister says as Jamaica is a sovereign country, the government considers all threats to the island's stability and acts preemptively and strategically to ensure it can deal with those threats.
Certainly, we can't deal with the threat of a massive migration problem should one occur, but we use our international partnerships to ensure that we are able to address it. And regardless of how we feel about the situation in Haiti and how it could impact Jamaica, in the core of the heart of every Jamaican is sympathy and solidarity. So I think that the way in which we have proceeded with Haiti is to fulfill both, to ensure that our strategic national interests globally, regionally, and locally are maintained, and at the same time fulfill our solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
Confirming that troops will be dispatched to Haiti, the Prime Minister said while the government's commitment still stands, Jamaica has its own security challenges. The news reported Thursday that Jamaica Defense Force soldiers are preparing for deployment in Haiti, with some personnel completing medical checks. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith did not want to disclose at this stage how many people will make up the Jamaican contingent, nor could she say how much the operation would cost the country. The update follows a report that the U.S. will put forward a United Nations security resolution to authorize Kenya to lead a multinational police force to help combat gangs in Haiti. Kenya will help train and assist the Haitian National Police to restore normalcy. Bahamas has also pledged 150 people. Minister Johnson-Smith was also unable to give an update regarding the processing of the Haitian asylum applications.
I don't have an update yet. Just came back from Australia, and I know they're going through the process. You have to review the files one by one as they turn on the facts. And the committee, the refugee committee, has, however, been established. You know, that's MNS, MFAFT, Justice, and guided by AGC. So they are going through that process. So far as I'm aware, nothing has changed since last week, as they're still reviewing.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.